Welcome back to Chapter 2. In this video, we'll be talking about what exactly is an HTML element and what a few of them are that we're going to be encountering through the course. First things first, I want to introduce you to this basic example of code. This is essentially the standard 10 to 11 lines that pretty much any website or any web page that you'll be creating is going to start out with. Chances are you have no idea what any of this means, so let's go over it over the next couple of videos and break it down section by section. With any web page or any website, when you're developing code, you're going to have what's called a container in the code itself. A web page can contain many containers, but what exactly is a container? Well, if we just take this section of body, you can say that there are at least 4 containers on this section of code. You of course have the primary body, which if you notice has the starting and the ending tag. That's the big red box, that's one container. The H1 tag with the hello world is another container. The P tag with the I like hiking is another container. And inside that we have an EM tag or an emphasis tag for hiking. That is another container. This whole concept may be a little confusing to understand, so let's break it down into something that hopefully you've seen in the workplace or at least in school before. For a comparable example, let's take this very simple algebraic expression, the 3 plus 4 times 5. In this example, the things in between the parentheses is considered what is the equivalent of a container. So with this, it should be fairly easy to understand exactly what a container represents. In the more advanced quadratic equation in the bottom, you can see a few containers. For example, the b squared is a container by itself, the b squared minus 4ac is a container, and then everything else outside of that with the square root is of course a container in itself. So based on that, hopefully you have a better understanding about what containers are. If you don't understand it fully, don't worry. Through the practice and the examples, you should have a better understanding of what they are once we jump into things. Next, let's talk about tags. Tags are basically what contains the content inside of it, essentially the container. The whole item itself is a container, but the tags are what start and end it. So in this case, we have the P tag surrounding the content of hello world. This is the element that is the P tag. You have the opening and the closing and the content in the middle. The whole thing's element, essentially the container. Based on that, this is what is a tag. Anything wrapped inside of these triangle brackets is a tag, and we'll jump into void tags in just a minute. Tags come in all shapes and sizes, such as the P tag, the H1 tag, the HTML tag, the body tag, the strong tag, and there are about 100 more that chances are you'll be using throughout your career as a developer. There are such things as void tags. If you took a look at the tags from the previous slide, you notice that a lot of them have the opening and the closing tags. A void tag is a tag that either closes itself or does not need closing. If we take a look at the previous slide, you see P and then /P, H1, /H1, etc. Void tags don't need that. Void tags can close themselves with a slash. With the previous tags, you may have noticed that you had the opening P tag, for example, and the closing P tag with the /P. In this case, we have a line break, which is BR and a slash in itself, which can also be written as just BR or BR space. As long as it's in between the triangle brackets, it's fine. You also have horizontal rules, images, and meta tags. These are just a few examples of void tags that you'll be using and experiencing throughout your career as a developer. So that is the end of this section. The next section we'll jump into basic structure of web pages and basic code needed for that. Again, if you have any questions, please contact me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, hopefully with an answer.